So how do you make sure that your track will sound as good as other tracks on Spotify or YouTube or whatever streaming platform you prefer? There is one way to do that. It's constant referencing, and there's a very nice plugin that makes this job really, really easy. So Blue is for amateur, which is for your track, and B is for the big names, big fishes, is for commercial tracks. So all you have to do, you have to put some tracks here and then press this button. Okay, so let's do it. I actually made a preset with my tracks. So these are my tracks made with Machina. But as you can already hear, we're not comparing apples to oranges because there is no kick, no bass in the intro. So first we have to look for, perfect spots in the track. Okay, so let me show it to you now. I'll just make the interface a bit larger, and maybe I'll go here. So I can just put markers here and make some loops, okay? But now when I press this button here, actually my track, even if I put bass and will sound much quieter. And this is very, very common. You're working on a track, you're not putting a limiter, it's not mastered. And the reference tracks are mastered. So all you have to do, you have to go and find a matching function. It's here. But before you press match, just have a look what we have here. Okay, so right-clicking here, you find that you can actually match the volume of the reference track to your track, and it will probably make reference track much quieter, so it matches your track. You can do it other way around, but I would not recommend doing it unless you're really working on a compressed and semi-mastered track. You can also match to the lowest volume track, or you can just go and match to the certain LUFS level. It also can be set in the loudness pane here. I think you can choose YouTube here, and it should go to -14 LUFS, which is great for music actually. So coming back here, yeah, it should be just about right. You can match, one track at a time, but you can also go here and match all tracks at once. So I'll just go and do that now. So my track actually has been put up because it was quieter than -14 LUFS, but this track was, matched down. I can also try to do it again, maybe for the louder part. Yeah, and actually it works pretty good. And now so we've got the same level, and we've got the parts we can actually compare. So listening to my track, you'll probably heard that there is something massively wrong about it, okay? Let's hear it again. As you can hear, there's lots of bass in my blue track, and other tracks are not as compressed here, so I have to choose maybe some loop here. But actually you hear that it's more punchy, there's a kick mainly and not so bassy, okay? So I have to get rid of this bass. I can do it many ways. I can just go here and put a filter like this. Well, I would not really recommend using high-pass filter for that, but just as a quick fix, I'll try to do it now. And let's have a look at the meters now, okay? Yeah, it seems much better now, okay? Let's compare. Yeah, you can also change here the parts you're comparing of the spectrum. And the interesting part is we can also compare sides, so we can look at the whole spectrum. And actually you'll see that there are lots of interesting things going on here. Let's have a look at other parts. As you can hear in the reference track, there's lots of information, stereo information here in the midst, while here there's only some, some reverb. So this is also an indication of the stereo image that is much wider in the reference track here. Okay, let's compare. You can also compare dynamics, and you'll see that this track actually has a competitive level. It's quite loud, while my track is not very competitive. Actually, it has minus 11 LUFS, so it actually could be put much louder. Okay. You can also look at the global meters, and probably the integrated level will oscillate somewhere around minus 14, because I set it here, minus 14. But you'll see other differences here, which is really helpful. Okay, but let's imagine I did something really awful, I messed up the phase in the bass region, okay? So I just put a frequency shifter, and you'll hear the bass all around now, okay? So this is my track. So you will instantly see on the meters that there is something wrong with the lower frequencies as far as, the phase, okay? And even if I put other instruments, you'll still see here that there is something really wrong here, okay? So let me make it right. So I will just go down with the frequency shifter, and now bass is in the ballpark, okay? Just for the disclaimer, I didn't buy the plugin. They gave it to me so I can use it during my mixing workshops I organized in Warsaw, Poland, and also online, and I can recommend it to my students. But the longer I use it, the more I feel that maybe I should have paid for it, because it's really good. It makes comparisons much more effective, and it makes the job easier. So you can easily see what is missing in your track, and you can just make right decisions much faster. So that's it. It's a workflow boost, and it's very nice executed. It works wonderfully. Okay, so if you like this, just don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay.